Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the LWN Network for Headline Hits today, Thursday, May 29th, 2025. I'm your host, Tammy Nation, getting ready to bring you the headlines of the day today. Thanks for joining us as always, and let's hope today we don't have technical difficulties like we did yesterday. I guess Rumble's been under different kind of attacks and having issues, and since it feeds into the system, the sound was going in and out. So hopefully everything's good today. Other than that, it is a rainy day. Last few days here in Georgia, it's been hard to get out and enjoy any weather. We've had tornado warnings and whatnot. So I'm hoping as we wind down this week, the weather's going to chill out and we can get out and enjoy some sunshine and fresh air for the spring heading into actually summer. We're in the last couple of days of May here. So the year is moving quite fast. So once again, thanks for joining me so much. I am going to go ahead and play the intro, and then we're going to get right into these headlines, which are really meaty and juicy today. Every single day, it seems like there's a lot going on and it's juicy and things are getting exposed, and it's kind of hard to keep up, but we do our best to keep you up. So I'll be right back. Okay, first up today, we do have President Trump's crypto czar, David Sacks. If you haven't heard of him, he is saying that Elizabeth Warren is behind the Biden regime anti-crypto agenda, controlled the AUTOPEN. So David Sacks is pulling no punches, directly accusing Senator Elizabeth Warren of running the Biden White House's infamous AUTOPEN and using it as a weapon to terrorize the crypto community. We've been hearing a lot about the AUTOPEN from President Trump, and Sacks says the Silicon Valley entrepreneur turned pro-Trump policymaker, in his interview with Fox, he accused Warren of waging a personal war against digital finance, calling her actions a pathological hatred of crypto. She wants to drive this community offshore. She doesn't want it in the U.S., and that is wrong policy for the U.S. Sacks said Senator Warren controlled the AUTOPEN to sign official documents, including pardons and executive orders during the Biden administration. He said she used her influence in her anti-cryptocurrency stance to harm the crypto industry. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer has launched an investigation into the use of the AUTOPEN, which we did report about, and the cover-up of the Biden's decline. He sent the letters to top Biden aides, his physician, and others close to the former president to compel testimony, and said subpoenas will soon follow if those letters are not answered. Comer saying Jill and Hunter Biden are on top of the targets of the investigation as well. Now, Tuesday, Trump did write on Truth Social that whoever used Joe Biden's AUTOPEN usurped the power of the presidency. Other than the rigged presidential election of 2020, the biggest scandal in American history is the use of the AUTOPEN. Whoever used it was usurping the power of presidency, and it should be very easy to find out who that person or who those people are. They did things that a Joe Biden of sound mind would never have done, like open borders, transgender for everyone, men and women's sports, and far more. Fear not, however, we will bring America back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. It was reported last week that House Oversight Committee James Comer identified 5 Biden aides who were involved in the cover-up of Joe Biden's mental decline and AUTOPEN scandal. Comer demanded testimony from former Dr. Kevin O'Connor and 4 former aides related to the Biden health scandal. Now, Comer did state the cover-up of the President Biden's obvious mental decline is a historic scandal. The American people deserve to know when his decline began, how far it progressed, and who was making the critical decisions on his behalf. key executive actions signed by AUTOPEN, such as sweeping pardons for the Biden family, must be examined considering President Biden's diminished capacity. Today, we are calling on President Biden's physician and former White House advisors to participate in transcribed interviews so we can begin to uncover the truth. In the last Congress, the Biden White House blocked these individuals from providing testimony to the Oversight Committee as part of the effort to cover up the Biden declining health issue. Any continued obstruction will be met with swift and decisive action. The American people demand transparency and accountability now. So we know, like I said, the president's been talking about the AUTOPEN issue. I did see part of a James O'Keefe video that talked about another Biden aide being the man, his name was Anthony, behind the curtain. And the interviewer was saying, I didn't see this guy. I don't know who he is. And he said, absolutely truth. And that's why he kept himself quiet on purpose, because he was one of the main guys, like the Oz behind the curtain guy. And he was another one that controlled the pen. Of course, Jill and Hunter are being accused of this allegedly as well. So a lot to break open and a lot to deal with when it comes to this AUTOPEN issue and all these executive orders, or pardons, I should say, that Biden did apparently not sign. They're saying other people signed it. So next up, we do have, gosh, some staggering information released from R.F. Kennedy Jr. regarding COVID death rates, you guys. R.F. Kennedy Jr. stated that during COVID, the United States had a death rate that was 200 times higher than Haiti and Nigeria. Now, both countries had a vaccination rate of about 1.4%, while the U.S. had a vaccination rate of 81.3% in 2023. During COVID, we have had the highest death rate of any country in the world. We had 16% of the COVID deaths, and we only had 4.2% of the world's population. We literally had the worst record of any country in the world. And it's a wonder that people are getting awards and recognition of and kudos for managing COVID, according to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s accusations. Whatever we're doing, it was utterly wrong. And if you ask the CDC, why did we die at higher rates? Like Haiti, we were told poor countries of Africa are going to be devastated by this because they can't get all the vaccines. Haiti is the poorest country in the atmosphere and had a 1.3% vaccination rate, and virtually nobody got a vaccine. They had a COVID rate of 14 deaths per million population. We had a death rate of 3,000 per million population. American blacks had a death rate of 3,600 per million population, and we had 200 times the death rate of Haiti. We had 200 times the death rate of Nigeria, which had a 1.4% vaccination rate. There was something very wrong in our country, he stated. There was a direct inverse correlation between vitamin D saturation and COVID mortality. In 2023, 81.3% of the American population had gotten at least one vaccination. 69% were fully vaccinated. In addition, the U.S. engaged in a slow the spread campaign where people, businesses, and churches were shut down. We remember that. Families weren't allowed to gather, visit loved ones in nursing homes and hospitals, or even paddleboard in the ocean. Parks and beaches were shut down. People were forced to wear masks, and mandates were issued everywhere. So like I said, some disturbing data and information coming out on the COVID vaccinations in comparison to those two countries. It's pretty disturbing. Next up, we have, is the big, beautiful bill in trouble? And are we going to face a ridiculous tax rate of 65%? Well, according to Senator Rick Scott, the one big, beautiful bill is going to face a major hurdle in the Senate, where Republicans hold a 53 to 47 majority. He has reaffirmed that he and several other Republicans will vote no on the bill. Now, Senator Scott says that there's not a chance that bill is going to pass in the Senate. Our goal is to get the spending down to about $6.5 trillion, which is reasonable. The House passed the budget reconciliation bill by a single vote last Thursday after months of debate. President Trump has said he needs the budget reconciliation bill to pass in order to cut taxes for the working class, fund his secure border and mass deportation agenda, and follow through on creating the golden age of America. On Tuesday, President Trump delivered remarks to the House Republicans on Capitol Hill, where he reportedly asked lawmakers to stop haggling over the bill and move it forward to his desk. Now, it did come out. Elon Musk voiced his concern over the bill as well. He said he's disappointed by the cost of President Trump's big, beautiful bill that passed by Republicans in the House last week. I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decreases it, and undermines the work that Doge team is doing. The remarks by Musk, who recently stepped back from running Doge, are in contrast to Trump, who backed the legislation, which still needs Senate approval. Now, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act passed 215 to 214 in the House by that one vote. That bill really is a victory for Trump and House Republicans, who overcame policy disagreements to deliver on Trump's key campaign promises. Now, it includes an extension of his 2017 tax cuts, including no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. It aims to cut roughly $1.5 trillion in government spending. The U.S. government is still more than $36 trillion in debt and has spent $1.5 trillion more than it collected in 2025 fiscal year, according to the Treasury Department. Now, the bill is still obviously facing hurdles. The Senate is tasked with passing its own version. Republican leaders are hoping to send the bill to Trump's desk by the 4th of July. Now, Trump's response in part to Elon's comments, he said, number one, we have to get a lot of support, and we do have a lot of support. We had to get it through the House, and we have no Democrats on board for the bill. Now, if it's up to the Democrats, Trump said, he said they'll take the 65% increase. If this bill doesn't get approved, this country is going to have a 65% increase in taxes and a lot of other problems, actually bigger problems, almost bigger than that. As opposed to the largest tax cut in the history of the country. If we pass this bill, we will be negotiating that bill, and I'm not happy about certain aspects of it, but I'm thrilled by other aspects of it, and that's the way they go. So still back and forth, no security on the big, beautiful bill yet. They're working on it. Early June is when they're supposed to start dealing with it again, and hopefully have it on Trump's desk by July 4th. Next up, Border Czar Tom Homan still on fire regarding people of authority harboring illegals. He stated, we are going to hit every single sanctuary city. And he suggests the Nashville mayor may be under ICE investigation amid House investigations for aiding and abetting illegal aliens. He announces plans to visit Nashville. Homan issued a warning shot to the Nashville mayor, Freddie O'Connell, on Tuesday, signaling that he may already be under federal investigation by ICE. I cannot confirm nor deny if ICE is investigating him, but we'll see how it plays out, Homan told Fox host Laura Ingraham. We're going to hit every single sanctuary city. Now, this comes as O'Connell is already a subject of investigation in the House Homeland Security and Judiciary Committees. The GOP Congressman Andy Ogles from Tennessee confirmed the investigation this Monday and said he will be formally requesting all documents from the mayor's office. This investigation does stem from an outrageous directive requiring Nashville employees and the first responders to report all communication with federal immigration authorities directly to the mayor, says Ogles. Homan put a leftist sanctuary state and city officials on notice several times. He said, if you cross that line of impediment or knowingly harboring and concealing illegal aliens, that is a felony, and we will treat it as such. So far, the New Mexico judge and a Milwaukee County judge have been arrested for harboring and concealing illegal aliens. I reported on that last month. Also, ICE San Antonio ICE members have arrested, this is a huge amount, 275 illegal aliens, including 178 with criminal charges during a 7-day immigration enforcement operation that ran May 11th through the 17th. Now, among the convicted criminals that were arrested, there was a Cuban heroin and meth manufacturer and trafficker, a violent twice-deported Mexican national convicted of multiple crimes, including assault and battery, a fugitive wanted by Costa Rican authorities. Other crimes included existing charges for these people they got: domestic violence, DUI, drug trafficking, weapons offenses, assault, Numerous law enforcement agencies assisted ICE during that operation. Then ICE also arrested a Mexican illegal alien in Wisconsin who threatened to assassinate President Trump. According to Fox News, in a mailed handwritten letter to an ICE agent, 54-year-old Ramon Morales Reyes. Now, we spoke about this person before on the LWN network. He wrote this letter and said he was very angry about the deportations of his family members and said he will use his gun to unalive President Trump in the head at a rally. DHS says Reyes illegally re-entered the U.S. at least 9 times between 1998 and 2005. And he has a criminal convictions for felony hit and run, criminal damage to property, and disorderly conduct with domestic abuse, Bill Malugin of Fox News reported. So once again, as these statements and these deals come out about who these people are and who ICE is arresting, we see the laundry list of things they've committed, crimes they've committed, the bad rap sheets that they do have. And he's re-entered, this Reyes guy re-entered the U.S. 9 times. That's absolutely ridiculous. Next up, we have update with more details on the Hamas leader the Israelis have taken out, Israelis. We talked about that yesterday. It was a breaking story right before I went on. But the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said yesterday that Israel has killed senior Hamas leader Mohammed Sinwar. Now, Netanyahu made the announcement in a speech to Knesset, the national legislature of Israel. The Israel leader had previously only said the terrorist leader had apparently been killed, but Sinwar has been killed, and he was one of Israel's most wanted targets. He was the focus of an Israeli strike on a hospital in southern Gaza earlier this month, and Netanyahu said on May 21st that it was likely he had been killed. There were no confirmation from Hamas. In the 600 days of revival, we changed the face of the Middle East, Netanyahu stated. And we removed the terrorist from our territories, entered the Gaza Strip, and killed Mohammed Dief, Ismail Hania, Yahi Sinwar, and Mohammed Sinwar. At least 16 people were killed and 70 others were wounded in the May 13th strike, the outlet reported, citing the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. Sinwar's body was found in the tunnel in Khan Yunis, along with the bodies of 10 of his aides, the outlet reported. So that is the update on what happened with that leader. It has been verified and taken care of. Next up, yesterday, Judge Jeanine Pirro was sworn in as the interim top prosecutor of Washington, D.C., the U.S. Attorney for D.C. She was sworn in by Pam Bondi and Donald J. Trump at the nation's capital. And Jeanine does promise a top-to-bottom crime crackdown targeting the most violent offenders. I love Judge Jeanine. Let's hope that what she says is true, top to bottom, a crackdown on criminals. So she is the interim top prosecutor right now and was just sworn in as of yesterday. And then last up, we do have Elon Musk has officially stepped down from Doge after wrapping up his working streamlining government. He reported that he would be stepping down after he was hired as special government employee, which only permits 130 days of employment. He stated he would be there for the president should he need him all along the president's presidency while it lasts. Elon did post on his X platform yesterday he was stepping down, and the Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government. As some of the left's cry, he wasn't elected in, or it was illegal to have Musk in this position. It's really important for us to note the truth, which is not the lies that he shouldn't be there that we heard on the left, but he was officially hired as a special government employee, which is a role Congress created in 1962, and that allows the executive or legislative branch to hire temporary employees for specific short-term initiatives. Special government employees are permitted to work for the federal government for no more than 130 days in a 365-day period, according to the data from the Office of Government Ethics. Now, Musk's 130-day time frame beginning on Inauguration Day was set to run out tomorrow, May 30th. So Doge is a temporary cross-department organization. Now, it was established to slim down and streamline the federal government. Have we seen what they've done? The group itself is going to be dissolved on July 4th, 2026, according to Trump's executive order. Musk and Trump both previously previewed and said that Musk's role was temporary. I know that other people out there are saying that they fight, and they've made up all this kind of garbage about their relationship and Musk's role in Doge. But Elon is not completely out. However, he stated himself, I think next month, probably in May, my time allocation to Doge will drop significantly. He said, I'll have to continue doing it for the remainder of President Trump's term, just to make sure that the waste and fraud that we stopped does not come roaring back, which it will do if it has a chance. So I think I'm going to continue to spend a day or two per week on the government matters for as long as the president would like me to do so, and as long as it is useful. But starting next month, he added, I'll be allocating far more of my time to Tesla now that the major work of establishing Doge is done. And remember this, you guys, he and his team worked for free. And I think America owes Elon and his team a huge thank you for all the good hard work that they did. The over $180 billion in taxpayer waste, fraud, and abuse of our dollars the government did that was discovered by Doge. And it's an incredible effort and incredible homage to loving America and being part of an American citizen and loving their country, to volunteer so much time to doing what Doge continues to do and what Elon did. So kudos to Elon. Thank you so much. Where we're going to allocate all the money hasn't been said yet. The president did say he's trying to allocate some money that he's taken from some of these schools like Harvard and such, and trying to put them into the dollars into trade schools. He said we need trade help and we need trade people a lot here in America. So we'll see as it unfolds, but that is a huge amount of money, and that's a lot of problems that, you know, the government misused our dollars in all kinds of ways, from fake USAID and all these NGOs and stuff. It's just terrible. So kudos to Elon, and good for him and his people that they keep working so hard, and we thank them for it. So that's what I have for you this week, you guys. It is the end of headline hits for the week, but I will be back on Monday to have another headline hits for you guys. Start a whole nother week of headline hits at noon Eastern Standard Time here on the LWN Network. I hope everyone has a beautiful, wonderful weekend, and you know, chin up as things are coming out. It seems like the tides are turning. It looks a lot more optimistic and hopeful. Even with all the chaos going in the world, it seems like we're on a path moving forward in a positive way for the United States and for American citizens. And that is the light at the end of the tunnel, in my opinion. So take care. God bless. Thanks for joining me on all the platforms, X, YouTube, and Rumble. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you. So take care, God bless, and have a super wonderful weekend, you guys. Bye-bye.